Go.
So the first pose that you go in when you're doing a penalty kick, your neck or your pivot joint is in flexion, and then your shoulders or ball and socket joint is in adduction because your arms are closed, and then your elbows or hinge or an extension. Your wrist or spleen joint is an extension as well.
Heavy.
And your fingers or your condylar joint is in flexion, and your hip or ball and socket is your left is in extension, and then the right is in flexion. And then the knees, the left knee is in flexion, and the right knee is in extension. And then your ankles, the right is in dorsiflexion and the left is in plantar flexion.
The second pose in the soccer penalty kick will be, so the neck or pivot joint is flexion, the shoulders or ball socket is circumduction and abduction, the elbows or hinge joints are extension, the wrists or plane joints are also extension, fingers or condylar joint is flexion, hips or ball socket joints, the right is extension and the left is flexion. The knees or hinge joint is flexion, and then the left ankle is plantar, and the right ankle is dorsiflexion.
The third pose of the penalty kick starts with your neck or your pivot joint in the process of extension, with then down to your shoulders. Both are ball and socket, both in circumduction. And then you're moving down to your elbows. The or hinge joint is in extension. And your wrists or plane joints are also in extension. And then your fingers, the condylar joints, are both in flexion. And then moving down to your hips, the left hip, which is this one, is a ball and socket in extension. And then the right one is in lateral rotation. This one should be over a little bit more. And then your left knee or hinge joint is in extension. And then your right knee is in flexion. And then your ankle for this one is in dorsiflexion. And your ankle on your right leg or plane joint is in plantar flexion.